Hello everyone, welcome to One Autistic Person. This is the fifth video that I'm doing in a series of 50 videos that are looking at the questions from the Autism Quotient questionnaire. As I've said with all of them, the whole point of these videos is to look at what is seen as a deficit within the assessment process, because the assessment process has to look at it as a deficit. But I believe we can look at most of these and potentially find a positive with it, or at least find some way of using this thing that's seen as a deficit as a positive. So, like I say, this is question 5, which is, I often notice small sounds when others do not. This is definitely agree. I hear things all the time. Like at the moment, I can hear pretty much every electrical appliance in this room. I have a fridge that side in front of me, and I can hear, well, I've got two, one either side, and I can actually hear the different noises coming from each one of them. I can hear my clock ticking. I can hear the wind outside. I can hear just little noises everywhere. So I think that this is one of the ones where I'm not sure where the positive lies with it, if I'm honest, because it's distracting. It's frustrating, often unnecessary, feels like an overactive response to sort of being in survival mode quite a lot. That's how I feel, that it's sort of a survival mode situation, which is, to me, it's just frustrating. I don't really see many positives with it, apart from being hypersensitive to things and hearing things that others don't hear. Maybe in a negative situation you might pick up on that quicker, but it overarchingly is distracting. So rather than looking at how this is a positive, it's how do we look at making that better, and how do we look at mitigating that as part of day-to-day life, because I get distracted a lot when I'm doing my work. So I become very tunnel focused, but then one little noise somewhere can take me away from it. But more so if it's something I don't want to be doing. So if it's a job that I really don't like doing, I will be more hypersensitive to all the noises around me, because it's as if my brain wants to get out of what I'm doing, so it'll keep looking for something to do that with. So for me, it's about then controlling my environment so that those noises don't distract me. There is a big obvious one, and that is having noise cancelling headphones, noise cancelling earbuds, or if you don't like listening to music, something that you put over your ears so you can actually have sort of noise cancelling headphones that don't have music. For instance, I can't remember what they're called, ear mufflers, that kind of thing that people use on construction sites, or war situation ones, army military grade ones, which my friend has military grade ones that were bought for him. I personally don't like silence, so I would really struggle with being silent. So I think having the mufflers on, I think for me would be disconcerting. I would feel really at risk around me. I'd feel a hypersensitive and probably start hearing things that weren't there, just because silence for me is quite something I don't like. So for me, it's noise cancelling headphones that I use, or earbuds, one or the other. I prefer headphones because earbuds, I struggle with keeping them in my ears. They seem to fall out quite a lot. So I don't know whether I've got strange shaped ears or whether I do something that doesn't quite get them in enough. But yeah, noise cancelling headphones is a really good way of being able to distract yourself from that. If you can't do that, then I think just having something on in the background for you, if that is helpful. Like I say, if the silent side of it isn't going to work for you, then having something on in the background, whether it's a TV or just music generally, or just it's just maybe nature sounds or white noise, or something that will just distract you enough, but not distract you so that it's taking your attention away from what you're doing. So for me, I like to have the noise of rain in the background. So I rarely do it, but if I was to use any sort of natural sounds, that's the one sound that I would feel because I feel quite comforted by that, or the sound of the sea. So something water related for me would be very soothing and just enough distraction so that I'm not paying attention to anything else. The thing with that is, with me personally, I will still hear things outside of it. I will hear a car go, or just something random in the background. So the noise cancelling headphones means that's taken out of the equation. So yeah, like I say, this one is not necessarily that I see it as a positive, apart from the one positive, really, the one benefit you can have from it is if you truly are in a situation of where something might be going wrong, you might be more hyper aware of what that is. And you may be able to hear when the kettle turns off or something like that. If you've put the kettle on, you might know when somebody else might not know. So you might be able to pick up on little things where there might be these really unforeseen little benefits of it, but I don't see a really big benefit of it. What I do see is that there are ways of mediating it and making it better for yourself and not being distracted in situations when you really don't want to be distracted. Like I say, with this for me, and if this is the same for other people, I seem to hear a lot more and be much more distracted by it if I'm doing something that I find boring or something that I don't want to be doing. It's like my brain is listening for things that are going to take me away from what I'm doing. Or maybe my brain's bored of the situation and therefore is looking for something different to stimulate it. It's feeling hypo-sensitized, hypo-focused. So therefore it gets bored and wants to hear what's going on around, because it might want to think, it may be thinking I need to go and stimulate my brain. I need to be more doing something I'm more hyper-focused on rather than something. So that hypo-sensitivity that could lead to hyper sensitivity to noise, maybe. I'm not sure, I'm not 100% certain that's what it is, but I kind of feel like that would fit the bill for me, that I've got it tends to be laborious tasks that I have the main issue with. It's annoying when I'm having a conversation with somebody, but I have been thinking about this recently, because I sometimes will be having a conversation with somebody and go, did you hear that? What was that? And if it's somebody I don't really know, my brain will go to it, but I won't say it, but then I become really focused on wanting to know what that noise was. But I have thought about it from when that happens, and it tends to happen more when I'm having a conversation I don't really want to have, or that I'm not interested in, or that is becoming laborious or becoming frustrating to me. So if I'm starting to feel that my social battery is running down quite considerably, it's as if my brain again is trying to find that reason to get away. So therefore listening out for anything that could take me away from it. So yeah, this has been an interesting one for me, because I do hear these kind of things all the time, and I know I can block them out, but not always. Obviously, during a conversation, that's extremely difficult to be able to block out. So I don't know what the answer to that one is, other than either say, "What's that noise?" and sort of break the conversation if you feel you need to, or try and ignore it. But that can sometimes make the situation worse. If it's somebody, again, I've said this about other things on other videos, sometimes it's about just being open and honest. And if you're able to be open and honest with your team, I know not everybody are able to, but if you're able to be open and honest with your team, if you just say, I've just got distracted, can you just give me a second? And I think that could possibly help. I have done that a few times with people that I manage, that I've been having conversations with, but it's been people that I really trust to say that, and they've always been receptive to it and fine with it. So and I sometimes just had to take a 5-minute break and then come back, and actually I've become focused on the conversation again. So yeah, maybe that's something you can do if you feel comfortable to do it. Anyway, I hope that that's given some sort of advice from what may be a good idea to do in relation to mitigating the fact that you may hear small noises that other people don't. As always, if you can like, comment, subscribe, that would be fantastic. As I've said with all of these videos, I really would like them to become a community. I know that's going to take some time for people to see these, but I'd really like people to have a chat through with each other, not just me sort of barking this is what I'm thinking. I'd love to hear what other people have got to say, and I'd love to see other people chatting away about it, because I think these questions are quite interesting. It's quite interesting to look at them from the flip side of what they were intended for. So thank you very much, and hopefully I will see you on the next video. Thanks, bye.